Let's go to the ring. And Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the spectacular AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, as Premier Boxing Champions presents the featured bout of the evening, promoted by TGB Promotions, Man Down Promotions, and DSG Promotions, as sponsored by Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey, the finest, the tastiest, the smoothest liquid gold in the world, and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Order your parts online at O'ReillyAuto.com and get free curbside pickup. This bout is sanctioned by the WBC. The president in attendance, Mauricio Suleiman. Along with the IBF, the president is Darrell Peoples. Judging at ringside, Tim Cheatham, Barry Lindemann, and Steve Weisfeld. All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the highly anticipated showdown between the battle of pound-for-pound greats for the unified WBC and IBF welterweight championship of the world. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, it's time for the main event of the evening. Introducing to you first the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple trunks with white trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at 146 3/4 pounds. His record stands at 36 wins, 2 losses, with 21 wins coming by way of knockout. In his 10th world title appearance, and having captured the unified super lightweight and welterweight titles, tonight he attempts to regain and reclaim the welterweight crown. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the renowned, top-rated world contender, the acclaimed former 2-division champion of the world, introducing Danny Swift Garcia. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks with pink trim, fighting out of and proudly representing Dallas, Texas. He weighed in at a ready 146 1/2 pounds. Truly one of the stars of boxing and pound-for-pound greats. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 26 wins, no losses, 21 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in a remarkable return to the ring, he is making his 5th world title appearance. Defense of his title, ladies and gentlemen, here is the former U.S. Olympian and current sensational, reigning and defending undefeated WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, introducing the truth, Errol Spence Jr. The referee in charge now to give instructions, Thomas Taylor.
Marker. Okay, corner. Trunks are a little high, so I'm going to give him to the middle of the letters here. He's also going to get to the middle of the letters here, okay? Trunks are a little high. I gave you instructions in the back, gentlemen. Protect yourselves at all times and listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to your corner, gentlemen.
Tonight's odds are provided by Fox Bet. If you bet $100 on the favorite, that's Errol Spence, you win $25. If you bet $100 on Danny Garcia, he's a big underdog, you'd win $250. The payout $350. And we are trending #1 in the United States on Twitter. Welterweight championship of the world. Danny Garcia says, "I believe I can hurt him." The first round, vitally important to see the effects of that car crash on Errol Spence and the strategy of Danny Garcia. We're underway, round #1. Spence pressing forward already, behind the jab. Garcia fires a right hand back. Garcia wants to dictate the pace. He normally takes the air out of the ball and will slow things down. He is content to counterpunch in most of his fights.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to, give a guy pressure in the first round when he's pressuring you. And Spence is really doing the right thing. This is how he fought. This is how he fights.
I agree 100%, Lennox. And Danny Garcia would be wise to take his time here and at least size up what Errol Spence has got and land when he can and defend himself when he has to.
Spence already able to land that jab to the body, and he is active with that jab. It's an effortless jab. Right hands to the body from Danny Garcia, able to land a few of his own.
Now, it's worth noting that Danny Garcia is 5-0 against southpaws. He's fought 5 southpaws, he's 5-0 against them. Now, he's never fought anybody exactly like Errol Spence, but, it's a little feather in his cap right here. He's never lost to one.
Yeah, the last southpaw that he boxed against was
Ivan Redkach.
And he was practicing the right hand to the body, so I'm expecting the right hand to Spence's body right now, because he's been practicing that with the last southpaw, so he's going to do it with this one.
Garcia able to block that left hand to the body. Errol Spence is the most accurate body puncher in boxing. He is able to land with that left hand continually, and Garcia able to block that. That could be significant in this fight. There's a shot that landed from Spence. Good combination.
Well, Spence landed, but Danny Garcia connected with a counter right hand left hook. So, this is what Danny's good at. You touch him, he'll play tag with you really well. And he doesn't want to sit on the ropes, I can tell you that, Brian.
Spence coming in with that left hand, charging hard, but you're absolutely right. Garcia will do subtle things that are sometimes difficult to see. Comes in with that right hand to the body, but he is able to respond and counterpunch effectively. He'll counter right hand, drive Spence back.
There's another example of it. Spence landed the straight left to the belly, and Garcia countered with the right hand up top.
Do you think he can hurt Errol Spence? I mean, everybody can hurt everybody, Joe, but do you think he can actually land and hurt Spence?
It's hard to hurt Spence. He's been hit by, some of the best guys in the division. I've really never seen him hurt.
A lot of tension in this building, I can tell you that.
Yeah, but Danny Garcia, anytime he's throwing his punches with his body behind him. He knows how to use his weight.
He does. That's why Thurman said he's the hardest hitting guy he's been in the ring with.
Garcia able to land with the jab to the body. The left hand there from Spence. Spence is usually content to slow. And there's a right hand from Garcia, straight up the middle, able to land.
And Garcia's right hand is not coming straight. It's like a whipping right hand, and he throws it very well.
Yeah, he knows how to fight a southpaw, and Spence is again trying to put on that pressure, but he's got to be careful not to get clipped by a counter punch himself.
Final seconds there of round number 1. We'll take another look, and we'll try to get Shawn Porter's prediction now, right? We've seen one round.
Now, Errol Spence with a jab. Danny Garcia parried it and missed with the counter right hand. Here goes that body shot. Garcia throws that little chopping right, and then a left hook that landed on top of the head. So that's what he'll do to you. And there's that little sweeping right you were talking about, Lennox. But see, Danny Garcia knows how to fight a southpaw. And you got to use the lead right hand at the right time, and he does it. And the other thing that Danny Garcia does is he'll move to the left hand of a southpaw, which is completely opposite of what you're taught normally. And southpaws expect you to go to their right hand side, and if you change that up like Garcia does, it's a little confusing for southpaws.
Spence is totally committed to the body. 10 of his 15 landed punches were to the body, as sometimes they're hard to see, but even in that exchange you could see Spence is able to snake in a shot and land a good body shot on Danny Garcia.
You're right. When he goes to the body, he usually lands. It's rare that Errol Spence misses with a body shot.
And he outlands against everybody, Joe. It's remarkable. Like what he did against Mikey Garcia was incredible. But he just outlands everybody. He's probably going to outland Garcia. It's just a matter tonight if Garcia can do damage with the shots he lands.
You're right.
Yeah, but Garcia is a very tricky fighter, and he moves well, and he tries to set traps for his opponents. Just when you think you have him and you're getting him, he comes out with a punch, a left hook or right hand, or a body punch.
We will find, by the way, I hope Kate Abdo is up there recording the predictions now for Shawn Porter, because we believe Shawn is ready to make his prediction. So that's after round 1. But, I'm sure there is information to be processed after round 1. So, Lennox, you first. What did we learn in round 1 from the fitness of Spence and the strategy of Garcia?
No, I expect Spence to come out like this, and I expected Garcia to come out like he did. Like I said, he's gonna pick his moments. He hasn't reached that moment yet. He's still checking out Spence and seeing what he can do, but he's just, you know, warming up into the first couple rounds.
But Spence looks like Spence, doesn't he, Joe? I mean, that looks like Errol Spence.
Absolutely,
right.
And that's kind of what I said going into this thing. And I agree with Sean. Give him a round. Let's see what Errol Spence looks like exactly. And he looks like just that nice left hand right there. He looks like his old self. He's putting on pressure. He's taking chances. He's looking to win this fight. I don't see any hesitation in his style or his demeanor at all.
Right, you know, Spence, if you watch Errol Spence against either Kell Brook, Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter in the early rounds, you'd say, hey, this is competitive, he has his hands full. And then in the later rounds, he busted up Brook, made him quit, befuddled Garcia, and knocked down Sean Porter. So if this is what we see with Spence now, he usually gets better and better.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But, you know, again, Danny Garcia is probably in the best shape of his life. He'll be good down the stretch himself. That doesn't mean that Errol Spence can't, you know, put some real hurt on him and stop him later on in the fight. That could happen.
Oh, got caught in there, a little off balance with the jab after he threw the haymaker right hand.
Yeah,
he's able to drive Spence back a little bit. That could be significant.
Yeah, that was a good haymaker left hand by Spence.
Now, the probability of Spence knocking Danny Garcia out, I might add, I don't think is high. I think this is a long distance fight, because both of these guys are very savvy and very experienced.
I thought that was interesting in the last few
not
seconds.
prone to get knocked out.
Right, like just to see Danny Garcia able to get physical, land a shot, drive Spence back. Again, that's a little more information to take here, and that's clearly after the bell. But we're going to go upstairs and find out what Sean Porter is thinking. Kate Abdo, take it away.
Thanks very much, guys. Yeah, we gave you 2 rounds, not 1, but you made your decision after the first.
I'm telling you, no need to even cue me up. Listen, I love what I see tonight. Danny Garcia he's not being aggressive, but he's punching. He's trying to punch and counter every time Errol Spence throws. That's exactly what he needs to do, and I love what I'm seeing from Errol Spence. He looks like he's 100%. He looks like he's himself. I got Errol Spence Jr. winning a close decision tonight.
Guys, we got to pick. Brian, back to you.
All right, there you go.
Nervous. I hate picking.
At least we put his feet to the fire. And I believe Danny Garcia outlanded Errol Spence in that second round. Errol Spence is rarely outlanded on the CompuBox stats, as we watch here at the end of the round, getting physical. Now it's late.
That was nice. See, Danny Garcia is smart, he's crafty, he's cunning, and he hits hard. And I like what Sean just said, and who better to tell us what's going on in the ring between these two guys since he's been in with both.
And look, for Garcia's point, right, not to go away quietly. Indeed, there it is, 8-7 in punches landed for Danny Garcia after getting outlanded 15-9. Not that that means that the winner of the CompuBox numbers wins the round, but it can be indicative of what happened. And if you're a Garcia fan, I think you can be slightly heartened, Lennox, possibly, by what you saw there for at least that 30-second stanza.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, he's gonna pick his spots. The only problem with that, what he did, he hit him after the bell. You know, he tested the chin after the bell. You gotta test the chin while the round is going on.
Garcia goes down.
No, that was a trip over the
Yeah, it just got awkward and went down, of course.
Which happens all the time, most of the time, with when you got an orthodox boxer and a southpaw boxer. They always mix their feet up.
See, Danny Garcia's been real clever here right now, and look at him. He's coming in with the 1-2-1. He's starting off with the jab right hand and finishing with the jab, and that's kind of bothersome for Errol Spence right now.
Yeah, they're both going to the body. Again, Spence is the best in the world at throwing body shots. Look at that jab. It's beautiful as well. I mean, he's such a complete boxer. But there's a hard left hand by Errol Spence, drives Garcia back.
To the body. He hit him to the body for sure, and Danny tried to counter and fell off balance.
Errol has deceptive power, doesn't he? I mean, he doesn't have that body where you think he's going to hurt you. It's a hard right hand by Garcia, but he is able to really lay the wood to you.
Yeah, he's putting his body behind his punches as well. He's launching that left hand from far and is coming far and is landing.
Spence is digging in.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything deceptive about Errol Spence's power, to tell you the truth. I think it's a proven commodity, and that anybody that's going to be in there with him, if you're a coach on the other side, you know that he's a dangerous guy at all times.
Well, it's an accumulation of power. You know, it's not Tommy Hearns on Pequeno Cuevas. You know, it's not. He got starched with one shot. But obviously, look,
he can put you down.
Oh, look, he did it to Sean Porter. He did that late, but it was an accumulation of punishment. I mean, look at the physiques of the guy. You could say that.
See, I like what Errol Spence is doing right now. He's close to Danny. He's got his hands up high, and he's basically putting, you know, pressure on him, forcing him to either throw a punch so he can do something off of that.
Good jab work there by Errol Spence. He spins Garcia around, and he continues to punch. Hey, that's fair game.
Yeah, that's
done
good.
Right.
Yeah, Spence was good. He didn't hit him behind the back. He aimed for the front of the head.
Yep. Absolutely not a dirty fighter. Again, he was hit after the bell, too. So he could try to return the favor as they get into a wrestling match here in the final seconds of round number 3. Spirited action here in the first 3 rounds of the welterweight championship. And we are going to go into the corner and listen to Angel Garcia here after 3 rounds and see what he says to his son.
Top of the nose.
Not the rope, Jack. You want on the rope, not the rope. You hear me? Not the rope. Let's breathe. No, a little cut, like a scratch. There's a little baby scratch. Listen.
Just so you know, he's got a cut on top of the nose. I ruled it from a punch.
Okay, you dipping and slipping, make him pay though. You giving him too much confidence. Back him the fuck off. Be smart, Danny. Don't jump out.
You guys know this cut is from a punch.
Yeah.
On the nose, okay?
Danny, it's not a cut, Danny. It's a baby. Don't worry about it. It's a baby nothing. But let's stop on that.
I got it.
What are you waiting for?
I know.
Danny.
It's in here.
Danny, don't jump straight back. Okay, keep circling on him, Danny. You gotta make him pay when he throws, go under and work with him. Okay? You give him too much respect. Keep your hands up. Fuck this pussy up, man.
Yeah, that cut's nothing, Bri, and Angel's right. I don't think it's a factor at all.
Yeah, there's just a lot of talk about cut. There's a cut. There's a cut. Like, oh, where is it?
But I'll tell you what. What's more threatening than that cut is the way Errol Spence is putting on pressure right now.
Yeah. And look, Errol Spence outlanding Danny Garcia only 10-9, and again, that's not the norm.
Yeah.
Let's go to Larry Hazard right now, see how he scores the first 3 rounds. Larry, how do you have it?
Well, you guys are doing a great job analyzing this thing. I got Spence ahead 30-27. Danny Garcia is going to have to take a page out of Sean Porter's book and jump on top of Spence and take this fight into the trenches if he expects to win. Right now, Spence is having his way. I got him 3 rounds to 0 going out.
Larry, thank you very much. Yeah, look, that could be definitely the way. Possibly second round could go to Garcia. Joe Lennox, would you have any rounds going to Danny so far?
Not now. Like I said, you know, Spence is controlling the fight with his jab, and he's controlling the distance, and he's throwing good combinations. When you step in with the jab like that, Danny Garcia is just moving around. He's trying to find a way to counterpunch.
Good hook there by Garcia, at least landed slightly on the side, and there's a body shot, little right hand to the body and then the head.
To answer your question, it's hard to ever argue with Larry Hazard, and I completely agree with him. It's right now with Sean Porter, it's Errol Spence that is really pressing the action here, that's taking the fight to Garcia, and he's the one that looks like he's winning the fight.
And Angel said, look, don't give him so much respect, right? So he's asking him to get in there closer.
Oh, right, he understands what he's looking at right now.
Yeah, you know, the size difference, on the height difference really makes a matter difference as well, because, you know, with Errol's throwing that jab, you know, and Danny boxing against a guy that's a great jabber, plus he's taller and he throws a lot of punches, you know, it's kind of difficult for Danny to really focus on what he needs to do. What he needs to do is really come back with the punches like his father was saying. Don't give him those free shots. Don't step back too much. Better off stepping to the side, which he did.
And Errol Spence, Lennox makes that so difficult. He's so active. That jab is long, it's strong, it's snappy. There it is right there, bouncing off the head of Danny Garcia. And at any moment, he will throw that left hand to the body. There it is, a good uppercut as well. Then Spence is #1 in the welterweight division in punches per round. Punches landed per round, jabs landed, power punches.
And body punches.
Yeah, I mean, he is #1. His accuracy in his body shots, also #1 in a star-studded division. But yet you see punches landed 43-35. That's not a wide margin. Garcia tries with the right hand. Spence comes firing right back. Excellent work rate by Errol Spence. Right hand was blocked. And that to the body. Garcia stays active. Let's go to the corner of the champion.
Listen, when you throw the jab, don't push it out there. Keep it popping. Don't get too comfortable with it, all right? Keep shooting the stick. And listen, step over and start shooting that. Around there. Number 5 coming up, 6 coming up, I don't know.
Coming up on 5, coming up on 5.
Listen. No, it gotta be 6. Listen, keep that stick popping, right? And then listen, he's looking for the jab, start sneaking that hook around the side. You gotta shovel to him, or you gotta throw a wild one of the two. You make the decision. Well, listen, also when you get on the side, he make the move. So just step around, don't shoot the shot when he's there. Step around and hit him on the side, all right? You're making him dip down, so when you shoot the shot when you get to the side. Don't shoot the shot over his head, all right? So I think it's like 6. 6 is 6.
Round 5.
This is towards the end of the round, if I'm not mistaken. This is a little looper around the guard of Spence, and it landed. And then he goes back down to the belly and hits him really solid. I mean, he's got to do more of that if he wants to, you know, win rounds here, because right now Spence is outworking him.
Yeah, but it's amazing, Joe, to me, what the CompuBox numbers are always so widely in favor of Errol Spence, even against Sean Porter, where Porter was throwing bombs. But the punch differential the last 3 rounds has been by 1 punch. 8-7, 10-9, 13-12. And that means Garcia is in this fight. Now, that doesn't mean everything.
I mean, you can see the numbers, but when you're watching the fight, you're calculating who's winning.
Yeah, but also, look, Garcia's landing those shots, Joe, is what I'm saying. He's landing meaningful shots.
I know that, but I'm just saying, you can make an estimation by the end of the round who won that round, whether you look at a punch stat or not, can't you?
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, normally, even in a close round, like against Sean Porter, that's a good hard left hand on Garcia. Spence would have this wide discrepancy. I mean, he just outlands everybody. And here Garcia is able to stay in the fight. Now, I don't know if he's taken any rounds, and I think Spence is getting the better of it. But Garcia is very much in this. At least by the CompuBox, that's a little, the punches landed. It's a bit surprising.
Yeah, well, you know, the judges aren't privy to the punch stat numbers, so they have to actually make an opinion-based scoring.
Right, but wouldn't that favor the puncher, right? And there's a good hard shot by Garcia.
I think that favors Spence, because if you're a judge looking at this, it looks like Spence is winning round after round. Okay?
I don't disagree with you. All right. But I'm saying some of the harder shots are being landed by the counter-punching of Danny Garcia.
I agree, and he's just whistled one right back.
And there's 2 right there that just landed from Garcia.
I agree.
Lennox, bail us out.
Yeah, no, they're attacking the body very well. I mean, both guys are scoring points. And, you know, I think, great combination by Spence right there. You know, Danny needs to move that head a little bit and not get caught like that.
Whistling left hand right there. And Lennox, what did you say to me between rounds? This is flying. We're in the 5th round.
Yeah, we're in the 5th round. I can't believe this.
There is tension in this building, as I mentioned. There's intensity in the ring. It's an interesting fight. Errol Spence, #1, looks like the Errol Spence that we saw last September. Wow, right hand over the top by Garcia, but it missed.
Well, no, I'll tell you what, Spence landed one and Garcia countered, and it looked like it wobbled him right there against the rope. Unless my eyes are deceiving me, I'd like to see that on the replay.
We'll take another look at that. I thought it whistled over the top.
Yeah, I thought it whistled over the top, too.
All right.
Double up on the jab.
Yeah, he caught him. He caught him. He did a little bit of a Texas two-step there near the rope.
Yeah. See, that's the punch, the sweeping right hook. And he's got the sweeping left hook as well. It's a natural punch by Danny Garcia.
Another interesting round, and in this case, the punches landed in the 5th, 20-9 in favor of Errol Spence, and that is the norm in an Errol Spence fight. Let's go back now and look at the end of this and see where did that right hand go. That was the right hand that went over the top.
Well, Spence throws, and boom, there, it hit him. Of course it did.
That's a 10-9 round for Joe Goosen.
It was a glancing shot.
Well, you know, with a whole bunch of knuckles in that glance, all right?
Joe, you won that one. Good job. I tell you, at your age to see that, that's well done.
Where are you, bro? You near me?
That wasn't that flush.
All right, so look this way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tell him, Lennox.
All right.
Okay.
I thought it whistled over the
Listen,
top,
stay
and
focused,
that did graze him.
Yeah.
So now, would you give her any rounds to Danny Garcia, Joe? Just unofficially, what are your thoughts on this? No?
God, I just right now, it just on appearance alone, it just looks like Errol Spence is winning these rounds.
Yeah, he is winning these rounds, but Danny is very much in this fight.
Without a doubt. And
Yeah.
look, he's going to have to do more of what he needs to do, and that's he's got to land his own punches and maybe hold his ground a little bit more.
We're in round number 6. We are flying here. Welterweight championship of the world. And look, Larry Hazard just gave that last round to Danny Garcia. Interesting. Good hard body shot there by Garcia.
That's all good stuff right there. That's Garcia's doing. And he's got to keep it up and really make an impression on the judges that, he's not just doing it for a couple of seconds here and there, but that he's doing it during the course of the round. You got to make it emphatic that you win a round.
Errol Spence had said that, he wasn't looking to try to avoid any of Garcia's shots in particular. He said, we'll see what kind of power he has. He just wanted to flow, kind of get the computer readout on Garcia in the early rounds. And again, he has such a high boxing IQ. He usually comes on stronger and stronger, and his form holds throughout the fight. A lot like Floyd Mayweather in his patience and his acumen throughout the fight, his determination. He stays consistent round after round. Good body shot by Spence.
And Spence is just ripping these shots. He's putting everything behind it. He looks like he's just starting to even get more warmed up. And we know Errol Spence. He's really hot down the stretch.
Yeah, Errol Spence wants to put him against the rope, but Danny Garcia is not standing for it.
Garcia tries with the right hand. Another jab falls short from Spence. And you see that Danny Garcia's eye is getting marked up, not closed just yet, but that jab has found a home right on the eye, left eye of Danny Garcia.
Joe, what should Danny Garcia be doing?
Well, he's doing what he normally does, which is block and counter, slip and counter. He just landed a nice uppercut hook out of that corner before he got off the ropes there. But Spence comes right back and gets everything back. So everything you touch him with, and Garcia tries to counter, Spence comes back and gets it back again from you. So it's a give and take this round. But what should Garcia be doing more? I think he's got to hold his ground a little bit more and try to land some thudding hard shots, see if he can put some real damage and hurt Spence with something.
Pawing jab out there for Errol Spence, as he has now outlanded Danny Garcia 76-52.
See, right now, Danny's holding his ground right there. Errol gave up some ground and is backing up a little bit. That's where, Garcia should really take advantage of that. Punch when Spence gives you the opportunity to do it.
He tried to get those body shots in on Garcia. He was able to block one of them, but a lot of those shots are getting through. Right-hand counter and a left-hand counter by Spence right away.
But Danny landed a good straight right.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then he landed a little looper around the gloves of Spence.
And then ate one.
Yeah.
And there are good exchanges here.
That's what makes this a great fight right now.
Let's go back to Angel Garcia in the corner of Danny.
Danny, listen, Danny, you're making it too obvious for him, Danny. You're a way better fighter than that. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. You're not getting beat up or nothing like that, but you're making it too easy for him. Like, he's pity patting. You keep backing up. I said don't back up on the southpaw, Danny. You can't back up on the southpaw. You heard me? You're backing up too much, Danny. All right, keep slipping. Keep your hands up. You slipping.
Well, here goes Spence right here, and it gets blocked by Garcia, and then he lands that little short left one that he threaded the needle with. And again, right off that eye with that left hand by Spence. But Angel Garcia said something in the corner. It's kind of what we talked about the last round. Danny Garcia's got to hold his ground. He goes, you can't back up against a southpaw. It just won't work. And he's got to jump on him like we were talking about. He's got to do more and hold his ground more and land something of consequence.
We're in round number 7, and you see the punches landed right there. Let me just, I want to get this out, Joe. I'm not some slave to CompuBox, like that's how you decide to fight.
I didn't.
I'm just want to set that straight. But this is a guy who outlanded Mikey Garcia, who was a lightweight champion, 345 to 75. I'm just saying,
listen,
Spence really outlands his opponents.
Okay, we announced that fight, and I was there, and Mikey Garcia did not do a quarter of what he normally does in any fight. He was very intimidated by Errol Spence, and he fought a very defensive fight. That's why he didn't throw a lot of punches like he normally would.
Well, yeah, but
I agree with Joe there.
Well, what?
Don't
Spence,
do that.
Spence outlanded him like 5-1 is what I'm saying. It's fact. Let's go to Larry Hazard. Larry, how do you have it?
I have it 59-55. I gave Danny Garcia the 5th round. Hey, look, guys, what Errol Spence is doing, if Danny hits him twice, he hits Danny 3 times.
Right.
This is what Errol Spence knows how to garner the judges' attention, and that's what it's all about. Exactly. If Danny can't get on top of Spence and take him into the trenches, he's going to lose this fight on points.
Yeah, well, it's just a situation where, you know, Spence throws a lot of punches around, and he's not stopping it. He's keeping up the volume. The volume is what is allowing him to win this fight.
Yeah, his work rate has been terrific, especially given the car accident, the year off, the shutdown, all of that. And he is right back to work, and he is aggressive, dedicated. Right hand there from Garcia, but he is relentless. And again, usually it gets more and more in his favor as the rounds go on.
And might I add, you know, Larry Hazard, I think, summed that up perfectly. That's why I call him the Professor Larry Hazard. It was right on point, and it's what the judges are seeing. He was a judge, he was a commissioner, he's done it all, and he knows that the judges are going to be duly impressed by Errol Spence and his pressure and his output right now.
You good?
Heads clashed there. Tom Taylor taking a good long look at both fighters, no cuts. Again, we're flying. Round 7, we're in the final minute already. So this it's dramatic. Yet it could be a clear points win, but we don't know just yet. Garcia, we wonder if he can slap it into another gear. We're getting into that territory where he might have to. And is he capable of throwing caution to the winds and coming in?
Yeah, this is where he should be doing some work, right here. Why not? The other stuff ain't going to work for you, and you can hear the desperation on Angel's, his dad Angel's voice in the corner. He knows he doesn't like what he's seeing here, and something else is going to change for Garcia, and that's what he's doing right there.
Danny is staying in the pocket now, and he's able to land that shot in a body shot. 2 right hands to the body in the final seconds of that round. We're through 7.
And here we see a great combination by Spence, throwing 5 punches. 1, that's 2, 3, 4, and that's it. 5. Garcia here throwing some combination at the end of the round. Good combination. But, you know, he stopped at 2 punches. He needed to throw more punches, but he elects to go to the body. That's been working all night for him.
You use your feet to do it. So by using your feet, you're not in front of him, all right? Stay composed, he's still alive. He still got some shit he's trying to throw. Keep the focus.
Well, they knew it wasn't going to be easy. You know, when you're going up against Danny Garcia, you knew it was going to be tough. The good news is, now we're through 7. And Errol Spence Jr. looks like his old self. No ill effects from the car accident, from being thrown from his Ferrari. He has outlanded Danny Garcia 92-61, and he has just shown again that, you know, active jab, controlling range and distance, and an outstanding work rate as well. Garcia in the fight, but it appears he's being outboxed by Errol Spence.
Well, Errol Spence is just shadowing Danny Garcia along the ropes there. Garcia got off the ropes, he just turned around and came right at him. He's really applying the pressure in this round in particular. He's just getting a full head of steam right now. Even though Danny Garcia tried his best in that last round to offset some of this pressure, he's going to have to do more.
Garcia tries with the jab, goes in with the hook, lands a hook to the body.
Errol Spence looks like he's trying to get close to Danny Garcia to throw some type of left hand or left body punch.
He's already in range right there, and I don't know why he isn't letting his hands go a little bit more, because Errol's right there.
Well, it's just not his identity, I guess, Joe. I mentioned earlier, right, like with Sean Porter or Pacquiao or Thurman, like volume is there, pressure fighters, but that's not Danny Garcia's game.
Yeah, but Danny Garcia is waiting for Errol to commit himself. He's waiting for that one mistake so he can take advantage of it. But he
could be waiting all night and it never happened.
Yeah, he needs to create some openings for himself.
Spence is just too smart. I mean, that's right. That's not going to happen, and that was the big question coming in. Would you be able to take advantage of this guy? That's unlikely if he's 100%. And Spence looks 100%. Look at that jab. Beautiful work. Neither fighter has been knocked down as a professional. These guys are both mentally and physically tough. Spence, though, has made guys quit in the ring.
Yeah, look, Spence is really starting to put a lot of leather on Danny Garcia.
That was a good body shot as he exited. You can see that left eye for Danny Garcia starting to close up a little bit, taking a beating, and now he's pinned up against the ropes.
Let me tell you a mistake that Danny's doing. He's allowing Spence to be first. Every time they come out of a clinch and go back, Errol Spence is the one that's starting the action and ending the action and starting the action again.
You can see Spence Lennox just building momentum. If Danny is going to stay stationary and not throw, Spence will just take over. He'll just smell that.
Yeah.
Doubles up on the jab and then throws a left to the body.
Yeah. When somebody's throwing a lot of combinations at you, mentally you just go into a defensive mode, and Danny's right into that defensive mode right now.
Able to clip him with a right hand and tries with the overhand right. That was just a lot of superb work.
I was going to say, Angel Garcia's got to be really sweating in the corner right now.
Damn.
Can't be happy.
In the ropes, he letting you pity pat him. He's pity patting you in the ropes. Stay in the middle of the ring, man.
You gotta pick it up, man.
Okay, let me see the puck. Let me see that. Let me see one. Let me see one. Let me see one. Let me see one, Bill. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see, Bill.
I know.
Give him water. Give him water.
Gentlemen, I've got a cut over here on the other corner by a punch, just so you know it's been ruled by a punch. All right, thank you.
Damn, you gotta start letting him pity pat you in the fucking corner. You hear me?
Hit it with the N20. Hit it with the N20.
Don't let him pity pat you, Dan. You hear me? He's pity patting you, Dan. Don't let him pity pat you, Dan. Get the fuck off the road. Dale duro, que no está dando duro. Dale duro.
Joe, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
With the ref coming over and telling each corner that the other guy's got a cut, is that right?
Well, what he's telling them is that it was caused by a punch, not a headbutt, so don't complain about it. It's a legal punch, legal, the cut's not caused by a headbutt, basically.
We're into round number 9, and Jordan Plant is there near Errol Spence's corner, and Derek James. Jordan?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Derek, are you liking what you're seeing from Errol so far?
I am liking what I'm seeing. He's breaking him down. He's like, you take the fight out of him, basically, but he still has some fight in him. He's going to keep trying with the lucky shot, but just got to stay composed and stay focused.
Is there anything Danny's giving you guys that maybe you didn't expect?
No, we knew he had heart. We knew he had the skills, but he never was able to get into the fight. The jab was the key to everything, and just keep popping with the jab. Listen, you got to...
Thanks, Coach. Brian, back to you.
Jordan, thank you. Look, and I think in the last round we saw Danny Garcia's energy on the wane for the first time, where the energy level just seemed
he was
lessened.
subdued. He was subdued.
Right.
He's thinking about it. There's a lot on his mind. Yeah, he's not hearing what he needs to do. Things are not happening for him that he wants to happen. Obviously he wants to catch Errol with some good punches, and he's not. The only way he's having success is to the body.
And Spence is just relentless. There's just such a good work rate.
Errol Spence has sapped a lot of energy out of Danny Garcia by the pressure he put on, by putting him on the defense, by making him sweat it out, because he's really a very dangerous guy in front of him, and he's landed a lot of punches on Danny Garcia. So, there's a reason why Danny Garcia is a little hesitant, a little tired right now.
Good combination there by Garcia, able to land with at least one right hand, and Spence right back to work with a jab and a left hand. And you can see that eye is closing. I mean, he's doing damage to Garcia's face.
And look, if I were Errol Spence and I were in his corner, and I think Derek James told him, I would just keep that relentless pressure on like he did the last couple rounds. Don't even slow down here a bit, and try to go for the knockout. I mean,
right, I tell you what,
he's capable of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I said he's going to pressure him and he's going to go for the knockout, because he learned a lot of different thing, especially from the Mikey Garcia fight, where he looked back at the fight and said, "Hey,
he let him off the hook."
Yeah, he let him off the hook, and he was supposed to, do a lot more damage than he did.
Yeah. Well, against Sean Porter, that 11th and 12th round, he put the pedal to the metal. I mean, he got after it. He knocked down Sean Porter in the 11th, and in the 12th, he was going for the knockout. So he got after it.
He was going for the prize. The prize is the first one to knock out Sean Porter. That's what he was going for.
And look, that's why he's a pound-for-pound star. Look, and Terrence Crawford's in the audience, right? You've got everybody watching. The world is watching. And so far, it has been a marvelous performance for the welterweight champion. Just mentioned Terrence Crawford comes off a win against Cal Brook, and he's already throwing jabs. Say this is what he's got to do. This is what I would do. Well dressed.
You got to remember, Crawford can go left-handed and right-handed. So
look, and Terrence is saying, "What? Are you booing me? Are you really booing me?"
So there goes a little reach around right under that elbow of Danny Garcia. Is that straight little left hand? I mean, when you land stuff like that, you know you're really doing well. And let's see about Danny right here. Okay, he got a nice right hand in finally. Those are too far and few between. If he landed more of those, he'd probably be in this fight.
And I don't think I've seen Danny Garcia's face like that before.
Yeah, no.
I
was going to say, when you're halfway through the fight and your eyes are a little puffy, that kind of, deters you a little bit.
He looks beat up. I haven't seen him beat up. And look, Keith Thurman almost took his head off early in that fight. But I haven't seen Danny beaten down like this. Round 10 now in the final 3 rounds. Errol Spence has looked terrific. He's outlanded Danny Garcia, and a lot of the starch has come out of the challenger. Let's go back to Jordan Plant. She's with Angel Garcia. Go ahead, Jordan.
Angel, you were telling him he's given Spence too much confidence. What does he need to do to take that confidence back?
Well, I think Danny needs to pick it up a little bit. He's not. I mean, he's doing good, but he could do better.
What do you think it is that's making him not go as fast as you want?
Danny's a counterpuncher. He's waiting for the right shot, but I tell him not to do it. I just hit him wherever you catch him.
Are you worried about the eye?
No, yeah, the eye's okay. The eye's just a little bump. The eye's good.
All right.
It's part of boxing.
Thanks, Coach.
See, his father knows that he's a counterpuncher, and he's waiting for that opportunity. But sometimes you got to make that opportunity happen.
Yeah, look, they knew that going in. I mean, they had to know that going in. Against a guy the level of Spence, that you weren't going to be able to just sit back and make him pay. Errol isn't going to sit there, and take a picture after he lands on you.
Now it's odd why, I don't know why Errol's backing up there. I mean, he's got a lot of energy left. He hasn't taken a lot of punches in this fight. And I just think he should be pressing Danny. Why let him back in the fight to do this to you? I'd be a little irritated if I were Derek James in the corner. Why give him a break? Why give him any chance to get momentum going?
When you're just breaking him down, right? And his only shot is to land something really hard and maybe stun him, put him down. We haven't seen him really close to that in this fight.
But you can tell Angel's very disappointed right now. He knows it's been a difficult fight. Errol Spence has really brought his A game tonight. And, Danny's got to be in great shape to take some of the punches he's taken and to hang in there as much as he had. But, if Danny wants to do anything, he's got to land something very substantial, something that'll turn the fight around. Like that.
Oh, that's a right hand. That landed flush on Spence. Quick right hand from Danny Garcia.
Yeah, but Danny did the right thing. He took a step over to the left and threw the right hook.
Did it again there, partially blocked perhaps.
Yeah, when you do things like that, you're throwing a punch where a guy doesn't right, you're throwing a punch where, it's coming from a different angle where a boxer's not expecting.
Garcia trying to turn this around, but he's going to have to do much more. Yeah. Just thought we had a chance there as you see Spence covering up. And again, normally, and you watch a lot of Errol Spence fights, it gets worse and worse for his opponent as the rounds go on, and he just doesn't change a bit. It's a beautiful look right there at AT&T Stadium, and the fans still buzzing. Fans back in this building, and a virtuoso performance so far by the champion.
Yeah.
Listen for that bell, gentlemen. Listen for the bell.
Final seconds here. Let's go up top. Kate Abdo and Sean Porter.
Thank you very much, Sean. Of course, you know what it's like to be in a fight with both of these men. What are you seeing so far?
I see Errol Spence Jr. doing what he's used to doing, and that's taking off near the end of the fight. Now, however, I do have him losing the last 2 rounds, and that's because he's taking his foot off of the pedal a little bit. But first time back, you're going 12 rounds. Maybe you're saving something for the end of the fight. but his consistency throughout the fight is where he's had his most success and has been the most consistent, and that's why he's winning the fight.
How clearly do you have him winning this fight?
I have him clearly winning the fight. I've only given Danny Garcia, I believe, 4 out of the now 10 rounds. So, and I'm sorry, I didn't write that one down, but consistency from Errol Spence Jr. is key for Errol Spence Jr., and that was what I wanted to see from the real Errol Spence Jr., who we see tonight.
Brian, back to you guys.
Kate, Sean, thank you very much. Again, the strategy going in, what Angel Garcia, what Sean was talking about before the fight. Angel Garcia saying, hey, we're not running, we'll do everything in the pocket, we'll control the pace. And we all, I think, collectively wondered, hey, do you think that's going to be enough to beat this guy? And take a look, Larry Hazard has only given, well, 2 rounds. All right, 7th round as well to Danny Garcia, so that's 2 rounds. Sean might have 4. So that's a little bit closer, but it has been Errol Spence's night tonight.
Yeah, Errol Spence has been consistent and persistent with his punches.
You notice Errol isn't backing up this round. He came out because he probably heard something from Derek James in the corner, like, what are you doing, letting the guy back in the fight, or even winning a round there, maybe, possibly. You go back out there, you got 6 minutes left, 2 rounds, 6 minutes, finish the fight strong, and see if you can take him out or just win it decisively.
Good combination by Spence there. It's a hard thudding left-handed shot. As he resets his feet, circles over to his right, gets the angle he's looking for against Garcia. Right hand lands by Garcia. That was a hard shot. Now a hard shot. Those are hard right hands.
They were blocked, and Errol Spence is doing the right thing, keeping his hands up. It's always dangerous in these last rounds.
Right on the belt line from Errol Spence, able to land to the body. I mean, he's just so consistent with his shots.
And Errol Spence is a machine tonight against a really, really good counter puncher, smart, high IQ fighter in Danny Garcia. And he's really taken away all of his best tools from Garcia with his pressure, his relentlessness, and his combination punching. Errol Spence is back.
Joe, you think Danny Garcia should be jabbing with Spence at the same time?
Well, look, it's always difficult to jab with a southpaw. Sometimes it's hard enough just to kind of stop it and parry those jabs from a guy like Errol Spence. But yeah, I mean, usually advantage goes to a southpaw when it comes to the jabbing duel.
Desperation time now for Danny Garcia. Only 4 minutes left in this fight. We're going to go into the corner and listen to both corners, but also Angel Garcia, and see what they try to do. Again, he is staring at an 0 for 3 at the welterweight champions. It's at a career-defining fight. There was so much at stake, so much to gain for Danny Garcia, but it's a tall order against Errol Spence.
Just goes to show you how great Sean Porter was, because he was neck and neck with the
whole night. Yep.
And it really came down to that 11th round. And let me just tell you something, Sean was in that fight and could have won it himself.
Yeah, and even could have gone either way, even with the knockdown. You're absolutely right, Joe. Final seconds here, round 11.
And let me tell you, Sean Porter threw a lot of punches in that fight. Errol Spence really got Sean Porter to really throw everything.
Body shot landed there by Garcia. Blocked that right hand from Garcia.
Yeah, he did.
Spence went down to look at his feet or something. Not sure what that was. What happened? Did the mouthpiece pop out?
Yes.
Okay, because he went down to look for something. Well, let's go to the corner and see what they say.
Danny, why you not flushing?
Stay focused. Keep your hands up high.
Go ahead and spit.
Listen.
Okay, last round, gentlemen. We're gonna touch gloves in the center, all right?
Listen. The only reason why he did that was because you were playing with him, all right? Do not play with him. This is not a game. This is not a game. Keep the...
Dan, listen to me. Danny, when you're in the pocket slipping, you're giving him too much respect, Dan. When you're in the pocket, dipping and slipping, try it once. Flush him. Dip under like that and come over the top. Keep your right hand up, your left hand up. Danny, flush it, please, bro.
Go, coaches.
Danny,
oh, peace.
You got
3 minutes. Let's go, coach. Let's go. 3 minutes.
Final 3 minutes. And in the corner for Errol Spence, Derek James saying, do not play with him.
Guys, keep it nice and clean.
Right, in other words, go back out there and from the to the last second, keep on working like you are, like the pro you are, like the champ you are. Don't mess around and play any games because it could be dangerous.
But Joe, I didn't hear anything from Angel Garcia that would, anything specific that would work.
No, he hasn't given him anything specific.
Well,
I think all the information was given ahead of time.
Oh, good right hook by Spence.
Spence coming in now hard. That landed, and Garcia probably more difficult to see with that eye closing.
In all fairness, on Angel's part, look, he's given it his best shot, giving Danny instructions. They just aren't working. Errol Spence is too much. They need a grand slam, not a home run.
But I thought, again, that's why, Joe, I was saying at the beginning of the fight, Garcia would have to do something different. Otherwise, it would be just, hey, a close loss. We tried, we did our best. And against Spence, you had to do more than counterpunch.
The best laid plans of Maisa Men, as they say, look, you can have all the plans you want, but when Errol...
No, but they didn't plan it, Joe. What I'm saying is they didn't plan that. They planned to do their thing, and this is their thing.
You don't know. They could have tried it, and it didn't work, and they gave up real quickly.
I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, there's only a couple things you can do. Go forward or go backwards or a blend of both. Okay?
I didn't see the
I think it's different. I think it's different when you're in there. You have all these plans, like you said.
That's right.
And punches and a guy's skill level changes all of that.
Well, do you think he had the right game plan, Lennox?
No, I didn't think he had the game.
No, I didn't think so either.
Well, what is the best game plan? I mean,
the best game plan is throw a lot of punches.
Okay.
You got to throw more punches than the guy throwing punches at you.
But you can't go through a whole career not doing that.
Right. I agree. I agree.
That's what we're saying. Here, Errol Spence going back to work. Garcia tries to flurry, and now they tangle up on each other. Final minute of this fight, and let's see if Danny Garcia has one last gasp in it, a last stand. He needs something miraculous to pull this out. Hoping that Spence comes toward him for something meaningful. Spence, look at the energy level, able to bounce and feint.
Yeah, feinting is so important when you're at this level. And, he's doing it right now in the last round. That's incredible. That's good.
Yep. And his hands are fluid. It's effortless. He's looked terrific here tonight. And again, he was off a career high, beating Sean Porter last September. And then coming off the car crash, this has just been an outstanding look for the welterweight champion of the world. Final seconds, let's listen in.
Listen for the bell, gentlemen.
Triumphant, gives a hug to a game challenger and the tough former champion, but Errol Spence is indeed back. He says, I am the best welterweight in the world, hands down, and he proved that here again tonight. Coming off the car crash, thrown from his car, and he just looked physically, mentally, like the same champion he was 15 months ago.
But yes, but did you see what Danny Garcia did there in the last 10 seconds? He should have been doing that
for the whole fight,
over and over.
Oh, absolutely.
And he didn't do it because he's really not capable of doing that.
No, he's not built that way. That's not the way he fights.
And by the way, let's give a great tip of the hat to Tom Taylor, the referee. What a great job. We didn't even notice him tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He was really did a great job. Let these guys fight.
I tell you, rounds 1 through 4, I was making a lot about the punches landed because it was very close. It was 45 to 38 punches landed 1 through 4 in favor of Spence, who is, again, that's his game. He is that good. He's a pound-for-pound star. But after that, rounds 5 on, it was 142 to 79, so almost 2 to 1 in favor of Spence. He's just better. Just reflects what we're watching in the ring.
But that's what we expect from Spence. That's what we were noticing from Spence. I don't think it was hidden. I think it was quite obvious that he was out punching him 2 to 1.
Yeah,
and you know what?
But early on, it wasn't. So I thought, hey, maybe there's a chance. But after that, it just they needed to do something different. Joe, is my point.
But again, the fight has to play out a little bit in the early rounds before you get settled in and you find your rhythm.
From Spence, he does that every fight. He gets better and better. And we'll take a look at some of the CompuBox numbers just to give you an idea of how it turned out. And again, Errol Spence leads the division in punches landed, and we're talking about some of the top stars in the sport at 147. 187 to 117 in favor of Errol Spence. They both threw over 700 punches. Take a look at some of the power punches. That was even, 103 to 103. But that jab is so active for Errol Spence, and it just dictates everything. So we will get the decision. Tim Cheatham, Barry Lindenman, and the experienced and excellent judge Steve Weisfeld will have the call in this one.
Last question. Did it look like Errol Spence only threw 7 more punches than Danny Garcia?
No, that's terrible.
You're asking me? I'm saying no. I would have thought he threw 100 more punches. Is that what you thought? I can't hear you.
The glass.
It's a plexiglass. Suddenly he's mute.
Hey, let me tell you, the elephant left the room quickly.
Yeah, he's fine. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, he's riding horses, not Ferraris, and he is back on top. We believe. Let's get the decision and go to Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judges at ringside, Steve Weisfeld and Barry Lindenman score the bout 116 to 112. Judge Tim Cheatham sees it 117 to 111. All three in favor of the winner. And still, the undefeated unified WBC and IBF welterweight champion of the world, the Truth, Errol Spence